Hi everybody, welcome back to Community Conversations. I'm Tina Howard. Today we have a favorite guest back with us. We have Tiffany Tutwiler. Hi Tiffany.
Hey Tina, I'm so glad to be here again.
I'm so glad you could come. I thought maybe you and Timmy would both be here, but then Timmy's not here, but that's okay.
Well, he had to run back. He's got a friend that works for the sheriff's department and said that that little Timmy needed to have his daddy as a character reference this week for a little situation, so he's gone back there, but he's going to come back as soon as he can. He's got to, gather up some bail money from Aunt Grandma. Well, it's his grandma aunt, but my Aunt Grandma, because our grandmas are sisters and everything. So anyway, he's going to help. She's helping out with some of the bail money, and we should have him back real soon. And hopefully, little Timmy will be coming to Hartwell soon.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, fantastic. So it's interesting. I tend to see you at holidays. Where you were in at Valentine's Day last time.
Yes. Yes.
And you had on your red. And today, you tell me we're getting close to Cinco de Mayo.
Well, Cinco de Mayo. It's May. It's the month of 5th of May. But yes, and I just thought I'd bring in a little decor.
I love it.
We'd have us a little margarita.
Yes.
Now, this is not an alcohol margarita. This is what they call a virgin margarita, but it's real good.
It is
and
good.
We've been sitting in here enjoying this with our Fritos and our salsa. And I know you're supposed to eat salsa with tortilla chips, but don't you like some Fritos?
I do love Fritos. I do. They're delicious. So thank you for coming back on this holiday, and give Timmy our best. I'm hoping things will work out. Interesting thing, I called you guys because the last time that you were here, I had somebody stop me in Ingalls, and they said, I wish you could put me in touch with that Tiffany Tutwiler. I said, I can give you her number. And she said, because I have a problem and I don't know who to talk to. And Tiffany seems like she knows how to handle things. And I said, well, why don't you email me and I'll just forward it on to Tiffany. So she did. But you know what else she did? She must have told her Sunday school class or something, because suddenly my email is filling up with letters. Dear Tiffany. And I decided, instead of forwarding them to you one by one, we would come back together on the show and maybe we could read them and you could give your advice. I've told the woman to watch HeartCom and make sure. So is that all right if I read?
That sounds awesome. And you know what? Over the years in my lifetime, I've had lots of people tell me their problems. And sometimes it's a real simple answer to their problems. And for some reason, they just dance and they can't think of the right answer. So
That's right.
I'm glad. I think this will be fun, and I hope I can help some people.
Well, I know that you have not seen these questions, so these answers, you're just going to go with your gut, because you told me, no, I don't need to see these. I've got a gut reaction. It's pretty good and trustworthy. So I'm going to read you the first one here. Now, this is from the woman. She said, I am the only woman in an all-male company. Sometimes the men put up calendars with naked women, and sometimes they tell jokes about women's body parts. She says, I am very overweight, and Tiffany, she was. She said, so I'm pretty sure they think of me as one of the guys. Should I tell them it makes me uncomfortable? Signed, Whale Tail. Now that was her signature. I did not. I thought she was a beautiful woman. But what would you say to her at work?
Well, first of all, Whale Tail, you need to have a little more confidence in yourself.
Right.
And you need to tell those men that if they don't stop it, they can talk to your lawyer about it, because that's against the law now. Y'all know that's against the law. They know it's against the law, and that is sexual harassment.
It is.
And you should absolutely do that, and stop calling yourself a negative, derogatory name.
Good.
You just be proud of yourself, and don't let those ogres push you around and sexually harass you. That was an easy one, Tina.
Good answer. Good answer, Tiffany. Good answer. Well, here's another one, and this one's from a man. Dear Tiffany, I am a 70-something male. I lost my wife years ago. Oh, I see pretty women all the time at Ingalls and Walmart and church, but I don't know how to strike up a conversation. I am lonely, and I would like to date again, but it has been so long I don't know if I remember how. And he signs his name, All Alone in Bull Snort.
Let me think a minute about that one. Oh boy, I got the perfect solution to that one. All Alone in Bull Snort. What we're going to do is we're going to have a bachelor in Ingalls. And we can have you go to Ingalls and hang out in the produce department where the lighting's good and there's lots of colorful things in there. And you're going to hang out in the produce department on Friday, this Friday. You're 70 years old, so you're probably retired, so let's go for like noon, okay? So you're going to hang out, and then all the single ladies that are interested in meeting this 70-year-old bachelor, you go to Ingalls at the same time. And then he can, then Alone in Bull Snort, then you can take, there should be quite a crowd, because I'm telling you, bachelors in that age group are quite a catch.
A hot commodity, right?
And you sound like a real nice man. Mm-hmm. So you select, let's say 5 that you would like to have a conversation with. And instead of like the bachelor cocktail party, y'all will get coffee and go over in that little seating area. And then you talk to them all and you get to know all of them a little bit, and then you narrow it down and take one at a time that you're still real interested in to lunch.
Okay. Where would you suggest somebody go for lunch?
They could go just about anywhere that they want to go. Maybe he could let the lady decide where she would like to go to lunch. That might tell you something about her too.
That's a great idea.
She picks the most expensive place in town. She might be a gold digger. So anyway, you can kind of get to meet people, and they know what they're going for, and you know what you're going for.
That's a good answer.
And maybe we'll have a match.
A match made at Ingalls. That's a great answer.
We could start a new show like that.
Oh?
Bachelor at Ingalls.
Bachelor at Ingalls. I think we should.
I bet they'd sponsor it too.
Okay, this one looks like it's from a young man. He says, Dear Tiffany, oh, I'm sorry, this is from a young girl. Dear Tiffany, I like this boy at school. In gym class, he lifted his shirt to show me he had an appendix scar. Does that mean he likes me too? And she signs her name, Confused at 15. Oh, I remember being 15, don't you?
Yes. Confused at 15. I wouldn't read too much into that, except maybe he's a pervert, because your appendix scar is on your pelvis and not on your stomach. So that might be a problem, unless he's got his pants sagging down to his butt.
And if he does,
you don't really want to be interested in that. So anyway, if you like him and you wonder if he likes you, don't judge that. Sometimes boys think things are cool that really girls don't find so cool, like worms and frogs and scars. And so maybe you should just ask him why he showed it to you. And if he starts blushing and fumbling over his words, you were probably right. But if he says, because I think it's cool, then it probably meant nothing. It was nothing in his head when he showed you that at all.
That's good advice. Well, this one is from a man. He says, Dear Tiffany, my wife wants me to get a physical at the doctor, but I've heard all about those prostate exams. Whoa, Nellie, is there another way around this? And he signs it, never been probed.
That's the most annoying thing I've ever heard a grown man say. He needs to call his mama and whine to her about it. Your wife never been probed. Your wife wants you to get a physical because she is worried about your health. And unless you have ever had a full-on pelvic exam or given birth to a baby out of an orifice in your body, you really should not be whining about having a prostate exam.
Good point. Good point. All right, here's one from a young lady, and she says, Dear Tiffany, my boyfriend loves to work out at the YMCA. He's a very big man. He has started to lose a little weight, and I guess he wants to show off because he pulled out his shorts from high school basketball and started wearing them. Tiffany, they are much too small for him. How can I tell him not to wear those shorts in public? And she signs it, love my fatty.
Well, that's a predicament. That could be embarrassing to her, I would think. Love my fatty. I think what I would do is, first of all, I would invest in a full-length mirror.
Oh.
And then I would, if that didn't work, say, look at these shorts. Look at these shorts on your body.
Maybe have a twirl.
If he didn't notice, then maybe I would drop some stuff on the floor and get a camera ready. And when he bends over to pick them up, you take some pictures and show him how maybe almost indecent those shorts are. And at the same time, I think she probably should go buy him a pair of shorts that are appropriate, and then when he wears them, tell him how sexy he is in them.
Oh, that's a great idea. Good solution. Good solution. Now, this one is about a family wedding. Dear Tiffany, my niece sent me an invitation to her graduation, her engagement party, her bridal shower, her wedding, and her gender reveal party. Goodness, that's a lot to happen in a short time. She said, Tiffany, these are all happening in a 2-month time period. Am I to buy her a present for each of these events, or can I just give one present? And she signs that broke auntie. I guess she is broke.
I know, that's crazy. Why is that girl trying to cram all of her significant life events in 2 months?
That's
I don't
a good
understand.
question.
Anyway, no, she doesn't have to give a gift. You don't give a gift. Now, for graduation, she can send a card. And if she can afford it, she can send a gift, a check or something with the card. And then for the engagement party, I don't think you're supposed to take a present to an engagement party. That's just a party.
Okay.
And then for the bridal shower and the wedding, you got to go, if you go into the bridal shower, you need to take a gift. And so I would combine those two.
And don't forget the gender reveal.
And then the gender reveal is just stupid. I mean, you don't need to have a party to say what gender the baby is. But anyway, that's what everybody's doing now. So I don't think she should take a present to the gender reveal party. I think she should wait till the baby's born and maybe give a little baby gift then. But so I think all 5 of those parties you can combine and give just 2 gifts, one for graduation and one for all the wedding.
So for one, for what you've accomplished graduating high school, and the other for what's about to happen to you with
the
your
wedding and bridal shower.
Well, that's good.
And
that's a good answer.
Gender reveal is just sort of like the engagement party. It's just a party.
It's just a party. Okay, well, that's good to know. I'm glad you know etiquette. Okay, here's one. Dear Tiffany, I am a preacher in a small church. I also teach Sunday school. One of the ladies in my church talks a lot. She talks all through Sunday school. She talks before and after the church service, and she even talks out loud in church after the choir sings. Several members have asked me to talk to her. I don't want to upset her because she is a rich widow and tithes generously. Signed, Pressured Pastor.
Well, I was right along with him until he said the reason why he didn't want to talk to her was that she was a rich widow and tithes generously. That's offensive.
Yeah.
That is not a reason why someone should not be honest with somebody else. But with all that being said, he's still in a pickle. And so, what's his name again?
Pressured Pastor.
Pressured Pastor. I think what you should do is you should say to her, have a conversation with her and say, Mildred or whatever her name is, I really value your opinions, but I can't remember them all. And sometimes people can't hear me because of you. And so maybe what we could get you to do is we could buy you a little notepad, and you could write down some of those opinions on your notepad and give them to me on the way out of the sanctuary.
Oh, that's
and
a good
I will
idea.
address each and every one of them for you.
That's a good idea. I like that. Have them write her down. That way she's not saying them out loud.
Yes.
And interrupting things. That's a good answer, Tiffany. Okay, let's go to this one. This is another wedding. There's apparently a lot of wedding etiquette issues out there. That's amazing. Okay, dear Tiffany, I'm getting married this fall. It's a destination wedding because I've never been to California. My mom gave me her wedding dress. It's over 30 years old now, and it's not my style. Oh, Tiffany, you're going to love this one. I'm asking for breast implants for my wedding gift. So I'm going to want to wear something that will flatter the new me. How do I tell my mom I don't want her dress? And she signs it, Almost Busty Brianna. Oh, Tiffany, there's a lot in there.
I had to have some more margarita to answer that one.
There's a lot in that one.
There is a lot starting with
the destination.
Wait, what was the first sentence?
The destination wedding, because she's never been to California.
Okay, first of all, as a mother of a boy and having been to many weddings for my son's friends, it irks me to no end to hear a bride talk about her wedding.
Good point.
It is not your wedding. It is the wedding for you and your future husband.
Good point.
And I doubt many people care if you've never been to California. Why? So what you're doing, well, let's just start from let's just call a spade a spade. Almost Busty Brianna, or whatever your name is, you seem to be a little bit self-absorbed. Mm-hmm. First of all, with the destination wedding, because you have never been there. So what you're doing is you're asking all of your friends and relatives and loved ones to take vacation from work, buy a plane ticket, and fly to California because you have never been there. Bless your heart.
I know, that's a hard thing to do.
And a very expensive thing to do.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, so let's go on to the next thing. You don't want to wear your mother's wedding dress because you are asking for a breast implant for a wedding gift? That's just tacky. I'm sorry.
Who do you think's giving her that?
I don't know, unless it's her husband, and then it would be a combination gift if that's really what he wants. Yeah. But I would have a problem with that too. But anyway, so you're getting a breast implant for a wedding gift. What is your husband getting implanted for his wedding gift? And then moving on down the issues here, the third issue is that you don't want to wear your mom's wedding dress because you want to show off your new implants.
The new her, she said.
Well, I understand not wanting to wear a 30-year-old wedding dress that doesn't fit the way you would like it to fit, and you don't want to get it altered, and you probably want a different style. And that's all fine. That certainly is your right. But the underlying current is you're having a why don't you just enter a pageant instead? I mean,
that's true.
Then it wouldn't cost all your friends all this money to go to California, and you have to get all this other issues. Or why don't you just go to California for your honeymoon?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Instead of having the wedding there, why would you have the wedding there if nobody out there, you don't know a soul out there, you've never been there before?
Right.
The wedding's about family and friends and joining together. Yeah, then go to California.
Go to California on your honeymoon. That's a good idea. Okay. Almost Busty Brianna. You heard it here from Tiffany.
And Almost Busty Brianna, you need to start focusing a little bit on others and not so much on Brianna.
Did you wear your mom's wedding dress?
No, we went to Vegas.
Oh,
remember?
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
That's
we went to Vegas. We just went to Vegas. We got
nothing
married
wrong
by
with
the
that.
Elvis impersonator. He was
That's right.
a 70s style Elvis impersonator. He was
The fat Elvis then.
Love Me Tender. He sang Love Me Tender when I walked down the aisle.
Oh.
It was beautiful.
That's very memorable.
Yeah.
But I bet you didn't make all of your friends and
No,
family
we
fly out
eloped.
there.
No, we eloped.
You went by yourself.
Yes, we went by ourselves
Yeah.
and we came back and we threw a big old barbecue.
Well,
Texas
there you
style.
go. Texas style barbecue. That's great. All right, let's see another one. My email is just covered up with these letters. Here's one from a woman that says, Dear Tiffany, my husband loves to bass fish. He goes every weekend while I am left here alone at home by myself. I hate fishing. How can I make him want to stay here with me? Signed, Bass Widow. Now, what do you think about that?
Well, if you hate fishing, first of all, don't go with him.
Right.
Okay, because if you hate fishing, you shouldn't be going fishing. But there's a real interesting and easy and effective way to handle this situation, and that's called shopping therapy.
Oh.
So what you do is when he's going out on his fishing trip, you be real sweet and you tell him to have a good time. And you say, I hope you can be home today, this afternoon, so that we can do something together. Maybe we can go to the park. Maybe we can go walk the dam. Or maybe we can go get us a bite to eat. What time do you think you'll be home? And if he says 3 o'clock, you say, okay, sweetie, see you then. And then let him go. He's going to have a good time. You want him to have a good time. But about 2:45, you need to be dressed, your hair done, have your pocketbook sitting right by the door with your keys, and watching your clock, watching your watch. And at 3:05, you hit the road and go to your favorite store and buy you something nice.
Because he hasn't come home, you mean? And
Well, you know, you
he's
got
not
a
home all the
hobby,
time.
and he's got a hobby.
Okay.
And, you know, you can go and buy something. Now, what I did, Timmy likes to deer hunt, and that's fine. But when they go out there, like at the beginning of the season, a couple years ago, no, it was this year, he would go out there before the sunrise.
Yeah, they go early, don't
And
they?
he would get up there in that deer chair up in the tree. What's it called?
Deer stand.
Deer stand. He'd get up in that little deer stand, and he would go deer hunting. And then after he went deer hunting, he would go have breakfast with some boys that went deer hunting that day. And then they'd go look at each other's little chairs up in the tree. And then they'd go talk about deer hunting, and they'd go buy some more stuff for deer hunting, and da-da-da-da-da. And then in that late afternoon, they go back up into the deer stand
they do.
and do some more deer hunting until dark time. And then, so he was gone literally all day long. And I said something about it, and he said, don't be a nag. So I thought, I won't be a nag. And so the next time he was gone all day, I went and got me some shopping therapy done.
did you?
And
Buy
I went
some clothes, or what did you do?
I went to, this was a great idea. I went to Tina's.
Tina's jewelry?
Yes.
Ooh, there's
and
some nice
I found me a little deer head. It's gold, and it had diamond eyeballs. And I got that little deer head necklace. And so I put it on it has a little clip on it so you can move it from place to place, whatever you want to wear it on. So I put it on my little charm bracelet most of the time. But when he's going deer hunting, I put it around my neck so he's got to see it. And I'm like, have a good time, sweetie. And he never is late because he goes, I will hit the stores. Now I have another friend that doesn't like to shop at all. And she watches those TV shows where they fix up their houses and stuff. Her favorite one is the one with those people from Waco, Texas.
Joanna and Chip.
Yes. I can't remember the name of their show, but they're a real cute couple. Anyway, so she decided that she wanted one of those open concepts. So her husband was spending a little too much time on the weekends. Every weekend he was gone all day Saturday, and then he'd get up Sunday, go all day Sunday, miss church, going out fishing, bass fishing. So she calls me one day and says, come on over here and bring you a sledgehammer.
Oh, no.
I said, Wanda, what are we doing? She says, I'm going open concept. So we went over and knocked down the wall while her husband was out on that lake. We knocked that wall down and made her an open concept. And then she had to hire her some contractors to make it so that it was not like, and we kind of got in some trouble with the wires and stuff in the walls. We didn't know there was going to be wires in the walls.
There's always
they had to get a beam up there because it was what they called
yes. Oh no!
And so the ceiling started sagging. It was bad. But anyway, he didn't do that again.
He didn't do that again. That's it's interesting that you kind of keep the spark in your marriage that way. Here's somebody that asks, Dear Tiffany, how do you keep that good-looking husband of yours in line? He is a real looker, and he clearly adores you. What is your secret to marital bliss? And she signs this, Jealous on Jane Circle.
Jealous on Jane Circle. Jane?
Watch out, Jane.
Watch out, Jane. I don't know that I keep Timmy in line. I think he more or less keeps me in line.
And see, that may be the chemistry.
Yeah, I don't think he doesn't really have to do anything. I don't really have to do anything to keep him in line. He's just a good person.
You just have a good marriage, a good solid marriage.
Yes.
And maybe because you're both independent.
Maybe it's because we're distantly related.
Oh.
We're cousins,
right?
But not first cousins.
That. I do. No, not first cousins. Well, there's some others in here, and I think I'm going to go to this one. This is about marriage as well. This says, Dear Tiffany, my wife is the jealous type. She thinks I'm having an affair because she found a text I wrote to a woman at church. I told the woman that I thought she was beautiful, and I thought the three of us should have dinner. How can I convince my wife I was just being nice? And he signs it, Sunday School Dan. What do you think about that?
I just think that's weird. Like, I'm just picturing myself getting a letter from somebody, a text message from somebody at church saying, I think you're beautiful. Would you like to go to dinner with my wife and I? That's just kind of weird. I would wonder what in the world kind of weird stuff they were up to. But I think that if you wanted to get to know this woman and invite her to dinner with you and your wife, then you should have just done that. Why would you tell her that she's beautiful? What does that have to do with it?
Right.
That's kind of weird.
The fact that she's beautiful is not.
Yeah.
Maybe he would like his wife to have more friends, and that was kind of his way. But the fact that he said he told her in the text he thought she was beautiful.
Weird. That's kind of weird. I would be kind of creeped out by that.
Yeah. I would too.
Yeah.
I would too. Yeah. Just, better to maybe let your wife send that text.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. Okay. Let's see. Now, this one's about a daughter. She said, Dear Tiffany, our daughter is 16 and she will start driving soon. She is driving my husband's old BMW, and I worry that she will speed in it. I don't know what all she'll do once she gets her wheels. I heard about those things that you can install into the car so you can, I guess that's those trackers, so you can see how fast she drives and where she is at. And then she asks, is that ethical?
Absolutely. I think that's about the greatest idea in the world. I wish I'd had one for little Timmy.
Oh.
He was like Dukes of Hazzard in Tuxedo, Texas. And about every month, he would get in some trouble with his car. But
and see, then you could have gone.
Yeah, then we could have known, and we could have jerked those wheels away from him.
Right.
I think that's a fabulous. Why would it be unethical? It's your child.
Well,
she's a baby girl. She's 16 years old.
Yeah, 16.
And you need to be watching her.
What do you think about those trackers? I have known people that put them in their spouse's car when they suspected things. What do you think about that?
Well, I think that's really, if you got those kind of problems, you need more than a tracker. You need a counselor.
Yes.
But no, I think it's great for tracking a teenager. I think you also should tell them.
Oh, you should tell them that they have a tracker in the car.
I don't think you should break their, relationship over the thing. And then also, once you catch them speeding, What you gonna do? Say, I got eyes everywhere.
Right.
Somebody saw you. No, well, they knew you were going 6 miles over the speed limit. No, I think you should tell them.
If you do set that trap and then you catch them in that trap, then what do you do?
Then you're in a trap.
Then you're in a trap.
You just admitted that you did something that was probably not very trusting of your child.
Yeah.
Now, if you really think your child's gonna, be out there drag racing or something, they can tell you they're not going to drag race. Well, I know from experience. Well, no, Mama, I won't drag race. I don't ever want to drag race.
Little Timmy was a drag racer.
He was a drag racer. But, you have to have a certain amount of trust in your children. But there's nothing wrong with saying, I want to make sure you're not driving your daddy's old BMW too fast, so we're going to put a monitor on your car that's going to tell us how fast you're going. So if you're going too fast, we're going to know it.
We're going to know it. So that's good advice. So let her know that you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But do it.
Yeah.
And don't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, on that point, I think that would also help the daughter, with peer pressure.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that.
Because she can say, well, I'm not going to speed because my mom's got a tracker on my car.
That's excellent.
Or I can't go down, to South Carolina right now because my mama's got a tracker on my car and I'm not allowed to leave Hart County.
That's right. I told her I was working at Walmart. I can't go down to the lake to a party, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's smart. Yeah. I hadn't thought of that, but that's a good point. Let's see. We got a couple of baby issues here. Let's see. This one, Nosy Nancy writes, Dear Tiffany, my son is in the service. Well, that's nice. We thank him for his service, Nancy. He married a woman while he was home on leave. It was a real quickie ceremony. We were not even invited. Now I hear his wife is having a baby. Oh. How can we make sure it is our son's baby and not someone else's?
Why? Why would you need to know that before the baby's born? They had a quickie marriage probably because she was pregnant with his baby.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So you just think that Nosy Nancy needs to open her arms,
needs to
open her heart?
It's not her business
It's not
to
her
find
business.
out, to do DNA testing on the grandson, unless she wants to go on, Dr. Phil or something. But Nosy Nancy, I just think you need to love the baby. If the baby comes out looking like somebody else that is in the picture, then maybe you could say, oh, that baby looks like so-and-so. But I wouldn't even go there. It's your son that needs to make sure, and if he wants to, he will. But if you tell him to, it's only going to drive a wedge between you and your son, and you and your daughter-in-law, and you and that grandbaby.
That's an excellent point.
Because I'm telling you, if Aunt Grandma had done that, she would not have a relationship with little Timmy.
That's right. Now that's interesting because it's really hard when you have children and they marry and they have children of their own. It's kind of hard to know your limitation. You have to know when not to step in.
Yeah.
That's hard. Well, that's good advice.
Questioning paternity is kind of stepping over the line, I believe.
That's good. Let's see.
Do you want a Frito? Some salsa?
Well, I do, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm going to eat them in a minute. This one is another one about a baby. Now, this is fairly common, I think. So Dear Tiffany, I'm getting married next month. I have a beautiful white gown that I'm going to wear, and I've been dieting for months so that I can fit into the dress. I was going to have my baby walk down the aisle with me. I would carry a bouquet of lilies in one arm and my baby in the other. Oh, I guess it won't walk if she's going to carry it. But my fiance said that his mother threatens not to come to the wedding if I carry the baby down the aisle. What should I do about that? And she signs it Bridal Baby. What do you think about that?
People just try to find a problem, don't they? A bridal baby, it's your and your husband's wedding. Y'all do whatever you want to do. If you want to have dancing bears in your wedding, then go for it. If you want to carry your baby, I'm assuming it's your soon-to-be husband's baby also, down the aisle to be part of your wedding party, then do it. And if your mother-in-law doesn't want to come, say, sorry you missed it. It was lovely.
Mm-hmm. That would be her choice, right?
That's
that would
her
be the
choice.
mother-in-law's choice.
But you don't need to
bride,
change. You don't need to change the plans for somebody that's a guest at the wedding.
That's right. Because you can't please everybody.
No.
You cannot please everybody.
No.
Now here's one. This is just a general question. This person says, Dear Tiffany, I have had the hiccups for 4 months straight. Now that's miserable, isn't it?
I just can't even imagine.
She says, she says, it's signed Burpee Brenda, so I guess it's a woman. I've been to the doctor and to the pharmacy and nobody can help me. I'm thinking of going to a hypnotist. What should I do?
Well, that sounds a little wacky. I got 2 solutions for your problem.
Okay.
One of them I learned from a friend of mine, a new friend. His name is Carl Oberg.
Okay.
And you have a drink with a straw in it. Now, I've got a straw right here, a little umbrella straw. It doesn't need to have an umbrella on it. Just be a straw. And you hold your nose with your thumbs and your ears with your fingers like this. Put your fingers in your ears and then hold your nose and then drink out of the straw like this. Works every time.
Okay.
The other way
Okay.
is that you...
Just in case that one doesn't work.
That one doesn't work. This one, and you don't have a straw.
If you don't have a
Sometimes
straw.
you don't always have a straw. Especially nowadays. Straws have become kind of politically incorrect because they're made of plastic.
Right. That's right.
So you don't have a straw. You don't want to be bad to the environment with straw. I'm going to have to stand up for this.
Okay.
But you're going to put your lip on the outside of the opposite side of the glass, and then you're going to turn your head over and drink out of it like this. And you take three sips, and your hiccups will be gone. Just like that.
You know, it's funny you said that. I did. My friend Bonnie Pratt told me to do that one night when we were at Katichi, and I had the hiccups in it, and it worked. I looked ridiculous, but it worked.
Well, it's not. You just can't worry about what you look like sometimes.
Well, that's true, especially if you have hiccups for 4 months.
Yeah.
That poor woman. That's terrible. Okay, Burpee Brenda, that's how you're going to get rid of your hiccups. Now, some of these, there's a couple of these letters that are rather personal in nature. And I'm going to go ahead and read them. And Wes, you can blank me out if you need to. But this one says, Dear Tiffany, I reconnected with my high school sweetheart last Christmas. She looks the same, even after 40 years. What about that? We have dated for several months now, and then the other night things got romantic. We were about to kiss, and I accidentally leaned in a little fast and bumped her in the tooth. It fell out. The tooth fell out. She said she's had a fake tooth all these years. Now, I don't know what the big deal is about having a fake tooth, but he goes on. What I want to know is this. How can I find out what else is fake before I get in too far? Signed, Barney. What do you think about that?
Well, I just think Barney needs to mind his own business. People are just getting into other people's business. And if it bothers you, if she were to have some type of implant or some type of cosmetic surgery, that if that bothers you, then either ask her or move on.
Ask her. So you would ask her? That's kind of a personal question, right? Have you had a facelift?
Have you? Well, if she looks the same after 40 years, chances are she's had a little work done. Because that's just not natural.
That's true. But she would be, what, 58 years old if she graduated at 18?
Yeah, and 58-year-olds don't look like 18-year-olds.
No.
They just don't, unless they've had a lot of work done. Now, you can tell sometimes just by looking at people and they have that scaredy-eyed Michael Jackson look. You know they've had a little bit.
It's obvious.
They kind of went overboard on the work
that's right.
they had done.
Yeah.
But if it bothers you and you don't want to have a relationship and get to know this person if she's had any kind of cosmetic surgery, then ask her in a kind of a roundabout way. Like say, oh, my sister's getting ready to have a facelift. Have you ever had anything like that done? Then you would know.
Well, he may have a toupee. You never know.
Yeah.
He might have had hair implants too.
Yeah.
So he better be ready to disclose all of his,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
I think so too. Okay, that's a good one. All right, well, here's another one. My next door neighbor enjoys happy hour every night. He steps out onto his back porch in his jockey underwear, right in my eye view, carrying a cooler of beer. And he starts popping those beers open, one right after the other. Oh, she says, well, that was bad enough, but I could always look the other way. I would always watch the 5 on Fox News every night at that time anyway. But the other night, he brought out his pistol and started shooting. I went outside to see what the commotion was, and I'd like to have gotten hit. How can I address this issue civilly with him before someone gets hurt? And she signs this teed off in Reed Creek.
That's a terrible predicament.
That's
an awful way to have to live. I think I'd write him a letter. I wouldn't walk over there if he's got a pistol.
Right.
I think I'd write him a letter and say, I'm concerned for you. I'm concerned for you mixing firearms and alcohol, and I'm concerned for you that you might not have any pants to wear at night when you have happy hour because you're coming outside in your underdrawers.
And if he shoots himself in the foot, he's going to have to be laying there in his underwear when the ambulance comes.
Yes, I'm just concerned about you, and I lay awake at night worried about you, and I wondered if you could stop that so that I don't have to worry about you so much.
So write him a letter.
Would you like to come over for a bowl of soup? We can talk about it.
Wear your pants.
With your pants on.
Well, that's nice. You can invite him over for dinner. Make friends, you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because right away I thought build a fence, but yours is better.
Well, fence, bullets can go right through a fence.
Well, that's true. That's true.
You could build a fence, though, or plant some big old trees that block it out.
Well,
we got a situation in Reed Creek where somebody put something ugly right beside somebody's brand new little house they built.
Oh.
And it's just a very unchristian thing to do, in my opinion. Oh. But they put a bunch of junk cars, stacked them up right beside the lot line.
That's terrible.
And it's like, what? Why would somebody do that? So now they're having to plant really expensive trees to block it out. And I think that's just, some people just mean.
That's just meanness.
Yeah.
That's all. Well, this is somebody that says she has good neighbors. This is, Dear Tiffany, I have good neighbors and they help look after me. I'm a widowed woman and I live by myself. My across the street neighbor mows my grass in the summertime. He's awfully nice to do that. But he takes his shirt off when he mows. He is not a young man, and he is not slender. Is he trying to tell me something? It's been so long since I've dated, I don't know what the rules are anymore. Worried Wanda. Do you think he's sending her some kind of a message?
I think he's hot. It's hot here in the summertime.
Right.
And I think he's hot. That's why he took his shirt off, Wanda. But you seem to like the man. You seem to think he's real nice and everything. I don't think you should read anything into the fact that he's mowing your grass with his shirt off. He's hot. But I think what you should do is, while he's mowing your grass, go out there and say, John, thank you so much for doing this. Can you put a shirt on when you're done and come inside for a glass of lemonade?
Oh, what a great idea.
And then you can find out if he's interested or not.
That
kind of gives him a little signal, and then the ball's in his court.
That's a good one.
Don't read anything into taking off a shirt.
Yeah, it's probably just too warm. Okay, now this one's kind of sensitive. This is looks like this is from a young man. Dear Tiffany, I am 18 years old. I have never done it with a woman. I have been with my girlfriend. Well, he's only 18, right?
Okay.
I have been with my girlfriend since we were 15. She wants us to be together before I go off to college in the fall. That's kind of pressure, isn't it? He says, I have a scholarship to the university, and I'm scared if I get too serious with my girlfriend, I'll lose focus on school. But she says she can find someone else to do the dirty deed. What should I do? And he signs it the big V.
Good Lord have mercy on this child. Well, the big V, I think you should run like there's a bobcat chasing you.
Me too. That's exactly what I was
Because if
thinking.
she's threatening to find anybody else with the right equipment to handle her situation and make her not a virgin anymore, she's probably trying to trap you.
Oh, I didn't think that.
And she's panicked because you're moving on and going to the university on a scholarship, I might add.
Yes.
And she's probably not. And she doesn't want you to leave. She wants you to stay right here. And the best way to get you to stay right here is if you have to stay right here to get a job to pay for a baby.
Good point.
So I think you should run like there's a bobcat chasing you. And it's got rabies.
That's good advice, Big V. You better listen to that. Okay, here's another one. All these family issues. Dear Tiffany, my mother-in-law is upset with me because I won't bring my baby around to see her. She smokes 2 packs of cigarettes a day, and I don't want her breathing her secondhand smoke breath on my baby. How can I nicely tell her that she's not allowed to hold my baby until she stops smoking? And she signs it, Fresh Baby Mama.
You have a great point, Fresh Baby Mama. I wouldn't let my newborn baby be around somebody like that either, but I think what you should do is you should say, mother-in-law, I would love for you to come over to see the baby. And before you come, I would ask that you take a shower and put on clean clothes and brush your teeth and use some mouthwash, and don't smoke a cigarette.
On the way over.
On the way over. And then you can hold the baby and see the baby, and then you leave when you need to have a cigarette. Because you're not going to talk her into quitting smoking. It's not going to happen.
You don't think so?
Nope. You can't make somebody do something they don't want to do.
Well, that is true.
And you can't worry about her when she's making a choice and she's an adult. You just say, well, as long as you're around my baby, you're not going to be doing this.
Well, she says, my baby, my baby. I think it's her.
Well, maybe the husband can't say no to his mama.
That's
maybe
what it
the
sounds
husband is not. See, it's his job
to tell
his mother that she can't hold the baby because she's smelling like smoke and she's breathing secondhand smoke, whatever it is that. But apparently he does not have the nerve to do that. So, baby mama, you're the mama bear, and that's your baby cub, and you have to take care of him.
She maybe has bigger problems than just secondhand smoke if her husband won't stand up to his mother.
That's exactly right.
That's good. Okay, now this one is kind of strange. My dear Tiffany, but who else would you ask? Some of these questions are kind of sensitive, so I don't know who else you would ask if you couldn't write to you and ask these. Dear Tiffany, my husband smokes marijuana. Now, that's illegal in Georgia. I don't know about Texas. Yeah. He wants me to try it. He says that it makes your lovemaking more fun. She says, I'm not very confident in the bedroom anyway. Should I give it a try? And she signs it, shy, never high.
Why would somebody let someone else convince them to do something that they don't want to do?
That's a great point.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. Don't change that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, because she's
Get yourself a backbone. And
what would you tell him if this was your husband saying this to you? Would you say get a backbone? Like, what would she say?
No.
That's to the point.
No. That's all she needs to say. No.
Okay. Well, here's another one. This is another marital letter. Dear Tiffany, my wife has lost interest in bedroom activities, he says. We used to be very active, but now we have 5 children. Ooh, 5 children. And we are raising my 2 sons from a prior relationship. 7 children in the house. He says, Mama has moved in with us to help with the kids, so I know she ain't all that busy. How can I get her to make time for me? Signed, Jiggy Daddy.
One word. Vasectomy. get those vas deferens clipped, and then she will maybe be willing to have you walk around, come close to her in the bedroom activities. That's the most ridiculous thing. How many times have you taken care of 7 kids by yourself while she's out of the house? Not only is she taking care of your 5 children together, but your 2 other children that are from a previous relationship, and now you moved your mama in there up in her business all day long, every day of the week.
Oh my goodness.
Are you serious?
Oh my goodness.
So after you recover from the vasectomy, then I think what you should do is you should have mama take care of the children, and you should take her to Cancun for the week and let her see if she can rekindle some of those feelings, not being afraid she's going to have baby number 8 and not having mama up in her business all day long. And if you don't think she's that busy, then I think you should take a turn with the kids and let her go shopping and have some shopping therapy for a day or 2.
Therapy, that's always a good thing to do.
That's ridiculous.
Funny. That's funny. Well, that is good. Now, that's all the letters that I have from the viewers. But what's so interesting is that you have become the go-to for all these people that think that you have everything put together.
Well, I just think it's amazing that some people just don't have any common sense. I mean, some of these letters are like people don't have real good, I mean, I don't mean to be insulting you people, but sometimes you just need to think about having some common sense.
Mm-hmm. And a backbone, as you said.
And a backbone.
Who gave you the backbone growing up in your family? Was it from your mama?
Yeah, probably my mama.
Yeah. She didn't stand for any kind of funny business.
No.
That's where you might have gotten it.
No, probably my mama.
And, Timmy seems like a nice man. So y'all haven't had all of the drama that these people have.
No. And he's got common sense. I've always thought he is very brilliant. Mm-hmm. I mean, some of his business ideas are just
the
unbelievable.
Prawn farm.
The prawn farm and the goat businesses.
Yeah. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And I don't know that you realize that you would be an inspiration to so many.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's always fun to feel like you can help somebody with something.
It is. And you have. And I may from time to time have you come on and talk through some of these letters.
Okay.
The Dear Tiffany letters that just keep showing up in my email box.
That's hilarious. I'm glad that they're writing you. That's kind of neat.
Apparently the word has gotten out that you're quite the advice giver. So that's good. I'm glad to know that. Have you had do you need advice on anything? Would you ask them if you needed advice, where would you go?
Where would I go? Mm-hmm. Where would I go?
Would you go to
I've done those call-in.
Psychiatrist?
I've done those call-in, those phone numbers where you call in and the horoscope things.
Yeah,
they say
fortune tellers.
Yeah, but that's so silly because they say something that could apply to everybody on the planet.
Well,
and they make you.
That's true.
You got to really want to believe it to believe it.
You don't believe in the fortune tellers and the palm readers and the tarot cards.
No. I mean, I think some people really believe it because they just convince themselves it's so true.
Yeah.
They just think about it so hard.
And it becomes a self-fulfilling kind of thing.
Absolutely, it does.
If your psychic tells you might meet Mr. Right, then you might connect with somebody that maybe isn't, but because...
But I think it's always good to, if you have a problem and you can't solve it, to go look out, find a professional or go talk to your pastor about it or something like that. I think it's a good thing.
It is a good thing.
And if you can't talk to your friends about it, like this crazy situations that we read about today, some of those situations you wouldn't feel real comfortable going to your pastor about.
Well, that's true. That's true. Or a family member. But if you can write to Tiffany and see you don't know a lot of these people, so you can give some advice without really getting in their business and everything.
Yeah.
So that's good. Well, so what's new for you and Timmy? What will you do this summer?
Well, we got lots of pontooning to do.
Oh, yeah? You have a
Yes, we're
pontoon?
going to be spending lots of time on our pontoon boat.
How nice.
And we got a real nice one. It's a used one we got from, and he worked it up and cleaned it up and got the motor running just like a whistle. Rich Mewburn over at Gordon's Marine got us a real nice one, and he's got some beautiful ones in his showroom right now.
Oh.
I just went over there the other day just to look at them because he's got some beautiful ones, some new ones, and just all, any color you'd want. And he's got a real pretty red one over there, real pretty.
Oh.
But anyway, we got us a real nice little pontoon boat, so we'll be spending lots of time on that.
Did you get a tan one for tea?
Well, it does have some tan on it. It's
does.
white and tan, and yeah,
That's good.
It's pretty.
Well, that's
pretty
good.
neat. And so we'll do lots of that, and we'll do some hiking around on. I like to go up to that Victoria Bryant State Park.
Oh yeah. It's pretty
My
up there.
friend Kathy Bryant, that was her great aunt or something like that.
That's
was
right.
Victoria Bryant. So I went up there first time just because I knew somebody that was related to the person, and it's a beautiful camp. It's a beautiful campground and beautiful park and lots of pretty, little waterfalls and stuff. They even have a golf course out there.
Oh wow. Do
So-
y'all play golf, you and Timmy?
No.
Yeah. Timmy would rather rake leaves, I guess.
Yeah, he'd rather do something like anything else.
Or deer hunt.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the patience to spend all that time on the golf
I
course.
understand. Well, if you're out in the boat, have you been to the new Boathouse Grill?
Yes, that thing has got the biggest deck of anything. It's all deck.
How nice. But that's what you want in
I
the
know,
boat,
it's
right?
awesome. It's all deck. And then the little
that's-
restaurant in the middle of it.
That's over there at the marina.
Yes,
at Hartwell
yes.
Marina. But you
had
don't
a
have
good
to go
old
by
hamburger.
boat.
Had a good hamburger out there. Real
Did
good.
you?
Mhm.
Okay.
You don't have to go by boat. You can just drive.
You can drive to the marina.
Right down to the marina. But
And it's fun.
It's fun to go by boat and have a destination. I love to have a destination when I'm on the boat.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
And do they have beer and stuff like that?
I
or
think
they have,
so. I think so.
They do, and some music. I saw they have some
Yeah.
music every now and then. which is
Yeah.
fun. So, and what do they have besides hamburgers? Do you think they have chicken sandwiches? and-
Stuff like that, and probably salads and stuff. I'm not really
Things
sure.
that
I
you
just
can
got
come off.
myself a hamburger. It was good.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to know that. And then
the
also,
rack.
I was going to say,
I just can't think of the name of
Is
that
it just
restaurant
the
without
rack?
thinking about what other things are called the rack. I don't know what it is. Why do they call it the rack? I just want to ask the owner, why did you name it the rack? But anyway, I've heard that every time I come down Reed Creek Highway, there is a crew of people out there working in
They
it.
have a
And
lot
the
of
other day they were taking some boxes in there, looked like furniture.
oh,
So
that's nice.
they must be getting close. I heard at the end of or they were going to open in May.
I heard that too.
So hopefully that's true.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Another new fun place to go.
Now I'll tell you what was really last Saturday. Timmy and I went to Chicago Steak.
Oh, fancy.
And for a fancy dinner, and it was delicious. It was so good. We were glad we had reservations though, because it was prom night.
Oh, goodness.
So there was quite a few prom goers there, beautiful girls and beautiful, handsome young men, and they all were using their best manners.
Oh,
and
that's
they were
nice to
all
see.
they were all acting so grown up, and it was really nice to see those young people and going in there for dinner. But anyway, we had a dinner, and we started talking to Sharif about
the owner.
what's going on out front there, because good
Yeah, they
Lord,
tore
they
up
have
Depot
torn up
Street.
that place. They have torn up that sidewalk like 3 times. And I'm like, Sharif, what in the world are they doing, building the Taj Mahal out here?
Is it fiber optics or is it something for Chicago's? Do you know?
It's something for Chicago's. They had to redo it for some. I can't. He said something about the storm drainage, and then there was something else, and then there was something else. Anyway, he said they promised him that they would do it this week.
Okay.
He was supposed to have that sidewalk, and it's going to have a planter out there.
Okay.
Like for you can put flowers and
That'll be
stuff out
nice.
there. I'm going to try to see if he wants some of my tires.
You could.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Tractor tire planters there.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yes.
I've never painted the tractor tires. I have done, a set for that I sold at the jockey lot. They were real pretty, and they were like all tropical colors, sort of
yeah.
like these colors, all real pretty with flowers and
would be nice.
chevrons, and one of them was polka dots.
Oh.
It was really cute, and they sell just like that. But I'm gonna see if Sharif wants me to paint him some of those, and he could like prop them up in there.
Yeah,
that would be
good.
so cute.
That would be pretty.
But anyway, the sidewalk has a wide part on the top. And he is going to put a fence up there.
Okay.
And then he's going to have, because right now, I mean, if you were drunk or something, you could fall off there and break your neck.
Yeah.
It's like a pretty good step down there.
It's a drop off.
So he's going to put a fence there, and then he's going to put tables out there, and he's going to be able to seat 32 people outside on that patio.
Oh, won't that be
and
nice?
he's going to have an awning over it.
That's great.
So he said he was all ready to do that a couple weeks ago, and the city wouldn't let him do it because they were afraid it would interfere with the overhead lines or something while they were doing all this work.
Oh, yeah.
So he said they promised him this week, so hopefully in the next couple weeks he'll have those seats and we can go out there and have us a margarita.
Yeah, that would be fun. But the food is good there,
It's
isn't it?
delicious.
Yeah,
I had the salmon, it was so good.
Yeah.
Timmy had a little fillet, it was very good.
Yeah. And the prom night, did you see all the beautiful girls? Were they wearing appropriate dresses? I
Yes.
saw some that were just...
No, these, all the girls,
Code.
they looked appropriate to me.
Maybe they passed the dress code in Elbert County, I don't know, or Franklin County, but they wouldn't have passed in Hart County, those dresses I saw.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, these were beautiful.
Cut down to here and then the back
man.
open and all of that.
Man. Well, I didn't see, I mean, the girls that were at Chicago States, they looked like they were dressed appropriate. I just noticed that they had on real pretty dresses.
Well, maybe
I
they
bet
got
Timmy
dressing
would tell
dreams.
me if they were appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah, he would.
He would tell me if they were showing too much. He would
Maybe
have
they got him a
probably told me
dressing
then. Yes.
Those pretty windows.
I tell you what, if they don't put an overlook there soon, a scenic overlook, somebody's going to get hurt.
Yes.
I almost had a wreck again there. I was driving and they had just put out those spring dresses. They have a purple one, like a lavender one, and then a floral one, and some yellow ones. I was like,
So beautiful.
so the car in front of me was like 3 car lengths ahead of me, and it was moving, and I was moving, and I
And the dresses caught
looked
your eye.
over there, and I couldn't help it. I just looked at those dresses, and the next thing you know, when I looked up, there was a car. I slammed on brakes. I came this close to hitting that car because of that store. So if they would, Tanya, can you just ask the city to put you up a scenic overlook
It would be good.
where the curb is? Either side of the road is fine, where people can actually pull over and come to a safe stop to look at your windows, because I'm telling you, or either you need to stop it. You need to stop with the windows.
No, it's so pretty.
Somebody's going to have a bad wreck. It's bad.
Somebody already took the tree down in front of CVS, and I know it's because they were looking at those dresses.
There's some pretty dresses. I'm telling you what, makes me wish I had a daughter to go in there and buy her some dresses.
I know. Well, maybe when little Timmy comes to town, maybe he'll meet somebody. Maybe we
so.
can fix him up.
Maybe we could. Not with any of the people we read about today, but maybe we could.
No, not with these. Well, Tiffany, it's always fun to have you here. You are such a joy, and I really enjoy having you here. When Timmy comes back into town, then we'll have you back on. And
Okay.
meanwhile, if people want to send more letters, we'll keep reading them.
Okay, we'll see if we can help you. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
De Mayo, de Mayo.
Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody, and have a great week. We'll see you next time.